So Palworld just received a pretty big update literally today, and this is not the Faebreak update, it's an update after Faebreak. It's basically Palworld version V0.4.14. This update brings with it a lot of brand new things to the game itself. It has some balance adjustments and bug fixes. It even has brand new skins according to the Spring Festival. So first of all, we have 5 brand new skins in the game, and let me just show you guys those skins as well. So first of all, if you go to Cattiva, you will have a lucky Cattiva skin. That is this one right here, so you can see exactly what that looks like right here. You also have for Chillet, you have this skin right here, the Lion Dancer Chillet skin. And the same thing for Chillet Ignis has the same skin as well. Once again, Lion Dancer Chillet Ignis. So those 2 skins are also brand new. You also have Lylene, which has a Fortune Bringer skin. And then you have the same thing for Lylene Noct, once again a Fortune Bringer skin for all of those pals. So it's 5 new skins, but it's basically just 3 different pals, because 2 of them are basically recolors or different types of the same pal. Either way, brand new skins. I'm not going to say no to that. Next up, let's take a look at the specification adjustments part of this update. So we have this one right here. Number 1, pals will now target the nearest enemy after being summoned. If you have played in the Faebreak update, you might notice a change in their behavior, especially when it comes to combat. This should now be fixed to, once again, they will target the nearest enemy after being summoned. Number 2, they changed the behavior of large pals at the bases to be the same as small pals. This allows them to pass through narrow passages, and they will be less likely to collide with ceilings and so on. So basically, if you have a bunch of large pals at your base like I do, they will no longer get stuck, or at least they will get stuck way less. Basically, there should be no difference between having a small pal and a large pal at your base. And if you have transporting pals, for example, having transporting pals be large can help you out when it comes to transporting, because of their hitbox. So if you are working with large pals, like I have quite a few that are alpha Noclems, and they are significantly bigger than regular Noclems. And in that case, they will get stuck pretty much all the time. Hopefully, now they won't. Number 3, added the Earth element to Mamorist and Mamorist Crest, so they will not only be grass and ice anymore, they will be grass and earth, or I guess ground, and also ice and ground. This will help them out when it comes to their actual abilities they have. They will now be buffed by the element of the pal, and it will also maybe allow you to teach them more moves that you were not previously able to. And then we have the last one that I'm personally the most excited about, and that is added the water element and work suitability watering to Killamari. And a couple of you guys might be wondering, why would they do that? Well, the simple reason is we don't have a dark watering pal yet. Now we do. Killamari is the first dark plus watering type pal that we have in Palworld. And I'm just gonna say right off the bat here, like, this is either for really early game or really late game. And the reason I'm saying this is that this guy has level 1 watering, level 1 gathering, and level 2 transporting. I only have this pal at level 16, he was level 1, I've been crafting a few things, but like, he's level 16, but he has the perfect stats. The second I heard about this update, I started breeding some Killamaris, and we worked on getting the best passive skills into this Killamari. Now, you might notice the current work speed here is quite high, but we do have the best stats, and I also am in a base right now that if I go here and we go to set work mode, it is on hard work or super hard work pretty much all the time. So the work speed does get affected by that, but like, this is a good pal. But he only has level 1 watering. Like, even now we went to super hard work and it's about 500 in work speed, but once again, only level 1 watering. That being said, the benefits of being dark is that this guy does not need to have nocturnal or vampiric. By being dark, he is nocturnal by instinct or by default. Dark pals will still work throughout the night, even if you don't have nocturnal or vampiric on them. This frees up a passive skill slot, so you can have Work Slave, Artisan, Serious, and Remarkable Craftsmanship. Alternatively, if there's a lot of movement in your base, you might want to have movement speed as well, to help Killamari move faster from watering place to watering place. Either way, the point is, it frees up one passive skill from Nocturnal to anything else you want to have. Now, it is worth noting that, for example, my Killamari here, he is level 16. I haven't boosted up the work speed by using Palace Souls. Can we check that somehow? Yeah, plus 20 you can see here, but I have not fully condensed this pal just yet. So when it comes to condensing, I haven't even condensed this guy at all yet. So when you fully condense him, he will have level 3 transporting, level 2 watering, and level 2 gathering. Even then, like, level 2 watering is so much worse than level 5 watering. So the reason why I'm saying that Killamari is either really early game or really late game is that really early, having Dark plus watering on a water pal with level 1 watering, that's kind of nice, and transporting is a very valuable secondary work suitability to have, so having both watering and transporting on a Dark plus watering pal, that's a good start. But why he's useful for late game is a brand new item that we have in the Faebreak update called the Applied Work Suitability technique. In this case, that is the Applied Watering technique, and these guys can be used to raise the pal's suitability for the work suitability by +1. In this case, this one will raise watering suitability by +1 once again. So if I do this right here and use it on Killamari, and I have 2 of these books, but you can see right now, if you go back to like where the Killamari here, he will now have watering level 2, and if I use 1 more book, I only have 2 of them, but believe me, getting those 2 took a lot of time, so like, this is why it's for the really late game. Even getting 2 books took absolutely forever, and as you can see here, he now has level 3 watering. I can get 1 more here from condensing, so level 4 watering, but even then, the difference is between level 4 and level 5, quite massive. But either way, this guy will work throughout the night time and frees up once again 1 passive skill. But when it comes to the really late endgame of Palworld, you can use those books I just used to get watering all the way to level 5, but that would require 3 books, and on average, if I'm hard farming these books, I am getting about 1 book every 12 hours, like between 8 and 12-ish, something like that. It's very RNG, but like, just to show you guys, these books, they are really rare. Once again, hard farming them, I can get 1 book about every 12 hours. It's pretty insane. So if you want to have this pal with level 5 watering, it's gonna take some time. Next up, we have some balance adjustments. So here you can see all of the balance adjustments, and let's read through them real fast. Number 1, reduce the amount of power required by the large electric egg incubator and significantly increase the amount of power stored in the battery. So this one has 2 different use cases. Number 1, the large electric egg incubator, you might have noticed, uses a lot of power. I am, for example, running 3 large electric generators to keep that one going. I also have other things at the base, like for example a crude oil extractor and those things as well, but this incubator used a lot of power. In this case, they have reduced the amount. I think they have cut it about in 2, so it's less than half. I think it went from 20,000 to about 8,000, so it's less than half now of the electricity that it was before. And they have also significantly increased the amount of power that is being stored in the battery, so make those batteries and store energy. Then we have expanded the range of the target area near the reticle when targeting the same enemy. Number 3, fixed a bug where the stamina of some pals was different between normal pals and alpha pals. This one I'm kind of both happy and sad about, because I actually have an alpha pal that I was flying around with quite a bit. It's my Ragnarhawk that I'm using for the boss fight, for example, in the Faebreak Tower, and having that guy as an alpha pal did take quite a bit of time, and it was a very good way to defeat that tower. Even working on it on hard mode, it was a good pal to have. So next up, adjusted the rewards from the large oil rig treasure chest and removed the uncommon plasma cannon blueprint. This one is overall really good for the endgame of Palworld, and first of all, adjusted the rewards. They have basically increased the amount of things that you're getting, and once again removed the uncommon blueprint that nobody wants to get anyway. Then they have extended the distance at which the advanced bow damage begins to drop off by 1.5, reduced the amount of plasteel required when crafting weapons and armor, and this one, thank you so much, because the plasteel requirement was getting kind of insane, especially on the high rarity crafted recipes. When you make the basic ones, it's not that bad, but when you get to like rare, epic, and even legendary, it's quite a lot. Next up we have increased the production speed of crude oil from the crude oil extractor. This one is going to be really awesome. Increase the rate at which crude oil extraction speed increases at the Pal Labor Research Laboratory. Once again, basically doubling down. So crude oil, you will get a lot more of that now than you did in the past. And lastly, they have increased the durability of weapons and armor that can be crafted with some blueprints. The durability of already created equipment will remain unchanged, so it will appear that the durability has decreased at first. Okay, either way, there we go, you can repair your weapons then, and that should basically fix it, right? Next up we have, and lastly, we have bug fixes, and these ones are kind of important as well. So number 1, fixed a bug that caused the game to crash when a pal with 4 negative passive skills was put through surgery by Dr. Brown. I used this quite a few times myself, and the game crashed, and it took me 5 times to understand why. Like, I had to crash 5 times to start figuring out why it was happening. Next up, fixed a bug that caused the new display in the building UI to not disappear when starting a new save data. Number 3, fix an issue that caused a treasure chest in the oil rig to not respawn, and this is a comment I saw 2 times myself on my Palworld oil rig video, where I made a guide on how to do the brand new oil rig and the previous one in a very fast way, and people were commenting that the chest simply wasn't respawning, or at least sometimes. Now that should be fixed. Next up, fixed a bug that sometimes caused the workbench effect to remain. And second to last, fix a bug that caused the PS5 players to be able to join Xbox games. This feature is currently under development and was released unintentionally. So basically, crossplay is happening, but not just yet. And lastly, fix an issue where some terrain was disappearing. Overall, for a bug fix and quality of life update, this update is actually quite amazing and changes quite a few things, once again giving a couple of pals some brand new elements, and even giving Killamari first of all a brand new element and also a brand new work type. For Killamari is a huge change in itself, and then also adjusting the crude oil speed and everything else they did. It's a pretty big update that you might have missed unless you're on the forums or on the Palworld Discord. It's not really something that they're announcing all everywhere. It's not a Faybreak update, it's not an expansion, it is just a quality of life update, and it's a very big one at that. Now, I'm just going to say that I'm extremely positively surprised about how fast they're pushing these updates. Like, the Palworld development team, they're pushing updates pretty much all the time. We had an update on the 15th of January, which was a big quality of life update as well. That is literally 9 days ago. So in 9 days, they had 2 very big quality of life updates, and just 1 month before that, we had the Faybreak update. So they're updating this game very frequently, and it's not like small updates either. It is big quality of life updates. So once again, I am incredibly positively surprised about how on pace the development team is. They're listening to feedback all the time, and they are so fast when it comes to these updates. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Bit of a different video today, like not a guide or something, but it's an update that is very easy to miss, and I wanted you guys to know exactly what was changed. So once again, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.